Sorry about that. I had a little problem with memory on the phone or camera being used. Anyway, like I was saying, as your primary driver, I would start Friday night and give yourself all weekend. You never know what you're going to run into. You know, busted bolts, connectors, whatever. Give yourself time to go to the store and get them. If it's not your primary driver, you know, like this, not that big of a deal, but it'd be nice to get it all done right away so you can remember where everything goes, either that or mark everything. I've tried to take pictures and so forth, and I usually can remember where stuff goes, but sometimes I end up with extra parts. But anyway, that's where I am right now. Total time into this, working time, I don't know, a couple hours I imagine. But I've had some frustrations with some stuff, but that's pretty typical on something this old, but it'll be good to get it done. So I'm getting back to work, and I'll bring you back in after a while. As you can see, we have the radiator support taken out of the truck. I'm not exactly sure where I left off on my last video. This morning, I finally got everything I needed. I was waiting on my new bushings that go on the bottom of the radiator support where it's all rusted out. You know, down, where do they mount? Down here. In fact, this side's totally gone. So hopefully it won't be too long this morning. Just have a few things to transfer off of this old one onto the new one, which is sitting over there. And we'll get this put back in. I went and I got some new, I'm using half-inch bolts, and I believe the ones that I'm going to be using, put the camera down just for a second here. I got several different ones actually, but I think the ones I'm going to be using are going to be these here. There's going to be they're half-inch hex head. These are grade 5, and they're threaded all the way up. I do have some that are threaded from about, you know, here on up. If those fit, okay, I may use those. The ones that came out of the truck originally, I also bought, there's none here, I bought a bunch of these plastic these Christmas tree connector thingies too. You can get those at, you know, any one of the big box stores has those. The ones that came out of the truck, it'll be this one right here. And as you can see, I mangled the washer pretty good to pull it out of the hole, which is that octagonal shaped hole right there. Reason for that is I could not get, you can see the bushing here, but I could not get inside there this top washer sleeve all one piece part. I I'll get those separated. That's something I gotta try to do yet this morning, and I've got to get the right side out yet. And I'm not sure if that's threaded up in there or what exactly, so spent a little time doing that. But what I did was I took a 10-inch, I don't see them sitting here anywhere, 10-inch pair of there they are, channel locks, and I would slit that bushing with a utility knife, which actually wasn't too difficult to do. And then I just start grabbing onto it with those pliers, and I'd rip it out, and then pretty soon all this stuff kind of broke loose. And then I went underneath and I grabbed onto this with the pliers, and I bent it up, and then I could wiggle it out of that hole, and I got the darn thing out of there. So I have the other side to do once I figure out exactly how this is together. I thought it all just slid together, but I'm not sure if that's threaded or I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody watching knows and is telling me through the computer right now how to do it, but I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to find out here real soon. So that's what I'm working on this morning, and then I'm going to get this thing back together, and hopefully it's not going to take very long. So I will bring you back in when I'm making some more progress, because I'd like to get on to some other stuff. I realize I'm probably not making the best video on how to do this, but I'm going to put a link. There's a guy that kind of helped me, and I'm going to put a link down below to his video, because he did a real nice job of explaining everything on how everything goes together and comes apart. And he helped me out, so I'm gonna help him out and put a link up to him. So anyway, I'm gonna get busy, and I'll bring you back in here in a little bit. Okay, I got that apart. I went over and I put the head of the bolt in the vise. I used a 1-inch open end wrench to put on that, and I got it off, and it did not want to come off easy whatsoever. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera the threads. I don't know, threads aren't real good on this bolt. And in fact, up here at the end, I think you can see where they're shiny like that. They're all marred up. So I don't think I'll be reusing this bolt. The problem is, I don't think this is a 1/2-inch bolt. And so, it's probably a metric. I was using what was I using? A 15mm on the head of that bolt. As far as this sleeve goes, or this, whatever you want to call this, here's a 1/2-inch bolt, and yeah, that is not going to go into that, not willingly. You can tell just by looking at them, there's a size difference. Considerable. Well, I haven't tried putting these bolts through the new bushings I got either. Maybe I got the wrong size bolts. Great. Anyway, I thought that's what I'd let you know, is this is a threaded piece. I was told it wasn't, and you should be able to pound the bolts right down through it, which is not the case. It's definitely threaded. I don't think I'll be reusing that when I put it back together. So anyway, I thought I wanted to update you on that, and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do now. So I'll see you after a bit. Greetings, welcome back. Well, as you can see, I've got the radiator support. It's not all the way in, but it's in. Bottom mounts, bushings are, where the heck are they? Well, you can see the bolt down in there, right there, and then you can see that. You can see the red in there. That's the bushing. So I've got them in, which was this is not a fun job. Doesn't seem like it should be that difficult, but trust me, and you can see this one or not. Trust me and anyone else that has done this job, it ain't a fun job. It's very time consuming, and there's about 1 million little bolts you gotta take out, figure out where they go. It'd be a good thing to mark them. I didn't do that. I typically don't need to. I can usually remember where things go, but holy smokes, this thing is never doing one before probably doesn't help, but it's a job. It's time consuming, but had to be done, and you know, once it's done, it's done. So making progress now. I've just got to pretty much button everything back up. I got to put the radiator back in. That's a piece of cake. That's nothing to do that. And then I'm going to fill it up with antifreeze, put some gas in the new tanks, and fire this baby up. She hasn't been ran in 3 months or so, so I think it's time to get things lubricated. So that's where we stand, and not much else to report at this time. So when I get things all put back together, I'll bring you back in, have a final look, and that'll pretty much be it. I'm going to put a link up to that other guy because I think he did a little bit better job of doing a video on this. This was not a very good video. My past couple videos have not been real good, and I apologize for that. Things are going to get a lot better here. But anyhow, I'm going to get back to work, and I will talk to you when I have this put together. Well, I had some other video taken. This wasn't a very good video, so I didn't post it, but I put a new radiator support on. Not a fun job, and I'm going to put a link to another guy that he did a pretty nice job on his video, and he helped me out a little bit, so I'm going to put a link down below to his video. And as you can see, I just got done removing the hood because I am going to get the fenders off also, and that hood back there along with those thar fenders, I'm going to prep the inside of those and get those painted and get them on the truck here. So, and then we're going to start getting ready to get serious about doing body filler and then paint. So things are moving along fairly good clip now, and this truck should be transforming very fast. So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll bring you back when I have something interesting to show.